From the very first moment Daniel stepped into the softly lit restaurant, he felt a strange heaviness in the air, like he was walking into a scene he hadn't been warned about. He wasn't a man who believed in coincidences anymore. Life had knocked that innocence out of him long ago. As a single dad juggling 2 jobs and raising an 8-year-old daughter, he didn't have time for games or surprises. But tonight, he had arrived because his well-meaning coworkers insisted he deserved a break, a chance to laugh, breathe, and maybe even find someone who saw past his tired eyes and worn-out shoes. He had no idea that some of them had other intentions, cruel ones. Before even reaching the table, Daniel noticed the glances, the half-hidden smirks, the barely muffled snickers from the corner booth where a group of young men sat, their phones out and their attention fixed on him like he was part of some entertainment they had arranged. But what truly made his chest tighten was the sight of the woman waiting for him, a woman in a bright red dress, sitting with her hands clasped tightly, eyes down, shoulders curled inward as if bracing for impact. If you believe in kindness, respect, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support truly helps stories like this reach more hearts. Daniel instantly saw what was happening, even before he fully sat down. The young men who had arranged the blind date were watching him like hunters waiting to see how their trap would spring. They had set him up with her as a joke. And maybe worse, the woman seemed to know it too. She didn't meet his gaze. Her chin trembled. She looked like someone who had been hurt this way before, someone who had learned to expect humiliation as a normal part of her life. She wasn't just plus-sized. She was the target of people who found joy in tearing others down. Daniel could sense her shame, her dread, her belief that at any moment he would react just like they expected him to. He felt a strange ache, familiar, sharp, and old, because he had once been her. After his wife passed away, the world had not been kind and the loneliness had slowly carved holes in him. He knew what it felt like to be judged before a single word left his mouth. So instead of acknowledging the boys' snickers, instead of giving the cruel orchestrators the reaction they hoped for, Daniel took a deep breath and focused on the woman before him. He complimented her dress in a quiet, warm voice. He thanked her for meeting with him. He asked about her day and listened with the kind of attention most people never offered her. And slowly, painfully slowly, she lifted her eyes. Andrea, that was her name, had a softness to her face that hinted at a life full of swallowed emotions. She explained how she almost didn't show up, how she had grown used to people treating her like a punchline. Her world had shrunk into safe places and safe routines because every time she stepped into light, someone was waiting to throw shade. Meanwhile, the men who arranged the prank were growing annoyed. They checked their phones, whispered among themselves, stifled laughter. They couldn't understand why Daniel wasn't playing his part. But Daniel wasn't just sitting across from Andrea. He was sitting across from a moment that demanded courage. He could either be another wound in her life, or he could be the unexpected miracle she never believed she deserved. As the evening unfolded, Andrea started smiling. Small, uncertain smiles at first, as if she needed permission to feel worthy. Daniel kept talking, gently guiding the conversation toward her interests, her dreams, the things that made her feel alive. He found out she loved painting but hadn't touched a brush in months. He discovered that she had once wanted to become a teacher but had given up after being mocked one too many times. Listening to her wasn't hard. In fact, it felt like the easiest thing he had done in years. She had a quiet strength, a kind that only forms in people who have survived heartbreak, mockery, and neglect. Eventually, Daniel saw the ringleader from the corner booth raise a phone, clearly recording them. That was when something inside him finally snapped. He didn't shout. He didn't scold. He simply stood up, walked over to them, and in a steady, unshaken voice told them something they never expected. He told them that strength wasn't found in mocking others. It wasn't in playing with people's insecurities. Strength was in choosing kindness when no one was watching. Strength was treating others the way you wished you were treated on your darkest day. His words weren't angry, they were honest. They came from a man who had seen too much pain to let more be added to the world. And for the first time that night, the laughing stopped. When Daniel returned to the table, Andrea had tears in her eyes, not from embarrassment, but from something far deeper. For once, someone hadn't stood against her or above her. Someone had stood for her. Their dinner didn't end like a fairy tale. It ended like something more precious, two wounded people realizing they were not alone in the world. As they walked out of the restaurant, side by side, Daniel felt something he hadn't felt in years: hope. And Andrea, she walked a little taller, as if someone had finally shown her she deserved to take up space. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel more than you know.